Hey, what's going on? It's John Diop, and today let's talk about moon signs. Now, in the last video, I explained to you that your sun sign is basically the collection of stars that the sun was in at the time of your birth. Where your moon sign, it means something else, but the concept is the same. The moon sign is where the moon was at the time of birth for you, and what it controls is your emotions. For women, it controls fertility and babies as well as their periods and cycles. It can also deal with the conditions upon which you were born. So certain aspects in your chart can tell whether your birth was a rough one, whether your mother had a hard time. It can tell about births that may have been difficult for you, and maybe you almost didn't make it. It can tell all of those things simply by looking at a person's moon sign. Also with women, it deals with childbirth and fertility. And when it deals with the moon in a woman's chart, depending on where it is, it can also tell you about the rate of her fertility. And so you look at this and you determine, let's say it is moon in 4th house. That's going to be someone who is extremely fertile, and it's also going to be someone who is very nurturing and motherly. And so that's the other side of moon aspects and the moon itself. The moon represents nurturing. The moon represents emotions. The moon represents your internal life. The moon represents what you need in order to feel good and feel nurtured and cared about. It's all about emotions when you talk about the moon, which is why people associate Cancer, the sign, with the moon. It's because Cancer is very much an emotional sign. It's a maternal sign. It is a protecting sign as well, because the mother also protects. That is part of the duty of the mother, is the protection. And so that is one of the things that the moon can tell you. It can tell you whether a person is calm, more likely to be more violent, a very sexual person, a person who's very logical and grounded. It can tell you a bunch of things. And so look at the elements when you look at a person's moon sign. Let's go with the elements. A water moon sign is going to be more likely to be emotional. Now, it's not the end-all be-all if you see a water sign, but it means that person is going to be more prone to being emotional if no other pattern affects it. A fire sign, moon sign, is going to be someone who's going to be very engaging, very charming, very outgoing, very lively. A earth moon sign is going to be someone who's more steady and stable, who's more of a plotter, a planner, a thinker. An air moon sign is going to be someone who's very communicative, and someone who is very much likely to talk and want to communicate, and who has a lot of thoughts going. And so all of these things combine to form the moon sign and let you know what you're looking at when you see this in the chart. Peace.